Hello, and welcome to the Untouched Quest. I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Siri, and we are reading the ElfQuest comics issue by issue, so if you want to follow the story, you can read ElfQuest for free at elfquest.com, and remember to follow us on your favorite podcast platform.
Thank you to everyone who have supported us through Buy Me a Coffee so far. If you would like to support us as well, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/TUQ podcast. So in today's episode, we're going to talk about Wild Hunt number 4 through 7. Pike and a hag is imprisoned. Does Tuej have a hand in the game? The Redeemer is redeemed. Someone is demanding what belongs to him and is disturbing the peace in the tribe. And a hunt goes terribly wrong.
You know what I didn't think about last episode?
Well,
I don't remember if we even discussed it, but Pike is telling this woman about, like, I don't understand why you are saying that, like, when eye meets eye is a bad thing.
yeah.
Because for us elves, it's like eyes meet eyes, soul meets soul. So for us, it's a
Like
beautiful
the best thing that can
Yeah.
happen.
And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
So why are you turning that to something so evil? Like,
yeah.
they're basically doing the opposite from that. And I was like, wow, why didn't we even discuss that? I don't think we discussed
We talked a little bit about it. And like,
Did we? Because
yeah,
for me, I was
because
like, wow.
no, we talked a little bit about it because I mentioned it that, like, that Winnowill turned when eyes meet eyes into something so wrong.
Yeah, maybe you mentioned it, but for me, I didn't like connect that was recognition, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I was like, yeah, like eyes meet eyes, soul meet soul, and they fuck and they get a baby. That's magical.
yeah.
And basically, when you do that here, you're dead. You know, like,
Yeah,
you're out.
you lost your soul, you're
Mhm.
over. Finito. It's so dark to, like, turn something so beautiful into,
Absolutely.
yeah.
And why aren't Pike and the hag directly taken to the Redeemer like the boy was? Like, why do they imprison them first
Yeah.
and then punish them? Like, oh, like the hag tries
like a
to kill.
public punishment.
Yeah, the hag tries to kill Pike, but then the guard is like, no, you're not led away this
Maybe
easily.
they needed to rile up the public first, so the public would, like, watch it and come along and be like, yeah, let's take the demon down. Whoa.
Oh, true. Or actually, maybe the Redeemer won't come out that often.
Yeah,
So
maybe.
it's like, oh, he just ate, so we need him to, like,
yeah,
digest
who
the
knows
food.
how often they have tried
be.
to.
Could be something like that.
yeah.
I just, like, found it like, so why do they get more time? Is it just for the story so the other ones can come and save them, you know? Or
Yeah.
how
But it's-
unfortunate for them.
Yeah, and the hag keeps calling Pike a demon, and he, like, tries to tell her that he's not a demon. And
She
she
even
answers,
knows that
yeah,
He's
you're
an
an elf, so you are a demon. This is a simple truth. The Lady of the Waves was a snake and a liar.
She still don't believe him, though.
No, he tries to tell her, like, the truth about Winnowill and that she never cared about humans. She never did anything for humans. All she did was, like, care about herself.
Yeah, and later as well, they're talking about Winnowill, and they're like, "Oh, she was an elf," and they're like, "No, she didn't look like you."
She
It's
was
like,
a human. No, she
No.
was a shape changer. She
Yeah.
just changed her shape.
she's
look like a
magical.
human.
Do you know what magic is? Like,
Yeah.
okay, like,
She made the Redeemer out of some poor animal as well, or maybe lots of animals.
it must be a lot of animals
Yeah.
because, like, look
and
at
it's
the thing.
fucking huge.
Mm-hmm.
But the hag tries to kill Pike, and she get, like, smacked in the head by the guards, like, really roughly, like, right below your jawbone. Looks really
Yeah,
fucking painful.
That must have hurt. It looks like he knocked her
Unconscious, yeah.
Yeah. And in a way, I'm a little bit like, yeah, I don't believe in death penalty
No,
because you are, like, let go so easily.
yeah.
You're out of your misery. Like, yeah, of
you
course,
don't have
like,
to contemplate what you did wrong.
exactly.
Life in prison is a much harsher punishment than
And
death penalty.
You can, like, learn.
We get a peek back in the troll caves, and they're working really hard to make this tunnel.
Yeah, and first I was like, why are you doing this tunnel to take the monster when you should go and save Pike? Like, for so many
Yeah.
pages, I was like, just go and save Pike. Don't waste time on this tunnel. You can do the monster later. And then I was like, oh, yeah, they understand that Pike is
Going
taken
to
to the
the
monster.
Redeemer.
Yeah, so
And go.
that made sense. Like, I just feel the plan wasn't explained to me in a way that I understood the
But
plan.
also, I don't think it would be a good choice to take all of the elves and all of the trolls straight into the human town and try to break him out. Like, he was in
Yeah,
a very public place the whole time, and like physically breaking him out of there would have been very, very dangerous. And
so true, but like
people will
when
most likely have died.
Yeah, but when we go into the troll cavern here, it doesn't feel that they care about him that much. Like, they're sending a little bit to him and like, hurry. But I'm like, yeah, but you're making a tunnel to the monster. You're not making a plan.
Yeah, you
to
didn't. You
save
didn't see
Pike.
the whole picture in the plan
Not
that they
before
had.
it really happened. I was like, poor Pike. No one cares about him. They're just sending to him like, just like hold on tight. You know,
Yeah.
like. And I was like, no, go save him. Make a plan to save him. Don't care about the monster.
The monster is the way to save him.
Yeah, I got that later though.
We can also see Trinket walking around the tunnels, being her like princessy self. Like, I'm too good to hold around these buckets.
Mm-hmm.
This is way below my station. And
Yeah.
my papa would never have me do anything like this. Why aren't you with your dad though?
Yeah, I know. She says like, Mama never carried anything heavier than a bracelet.
Yeah.
For me.
Why aren't you with your parents?
Yeah.
Go be with your siblings and your parents and everyone else.
Well-
Why are you here?
Well, I bet that her siblings don't really want her though. Hey,
Yeah.
isn't really Flam and this other troll?
Some kind of descendant, yeah, but not like
Yeah.
closely related, I don't think. I don't think they're her siblings because they
yeah,
are
okay.
siblings, but they don't talk to her as if she's a sibling.
Yeah, so maybe it's like
A descendant of a
grandkids
descendant of a
like, yeah.
descendant, something like that, yeah.
Because Flam and the other one is a descendant from her father.
Yeah.
Since they basically
Everyone came
populated
from Picnos and
yeah.
Orbit, yeah, but I think that they are further down the
Okay, yeah.
fire line.
Makes sense.
So that they are not closely related
Yeah.
to Trinket. And they don't treat her like a fucking princess. They shouldn't either.
I don't feel any of her siblings would treat her like a princess because they were
No.
annoyed when she came back.
Yeah, she was this really noisy little kid.
Yeah, and since her parents treated her like the princess she always
Yeah.
was, they were like, you never treated us like that.
Yeah,
like,
why are we different from her? We're
Yeah.
also her children.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, she was at that time the only child. And they later, during the 10,000 years, had a lot of children.
Yeah, they still didn't care about them as much as they ever did Trinket, though.
Probably because she was a small child, the firstborn that suddenly disappeared and then came back again. She was like a major part of them because
But
of
then
what
all
happened.
the other trolls were just like, now we're gonna populate and I'm gonna have my own
Yeah.
kingdom. Like, what the
Like,
fuck,
we don't
though?
fucking care about this little princess
No.
of yours. Pooh and Sus are carrying around buckets, kind of like, oh, I'm carrying 2 buckets. No, I carry 3 buckets. You only carry 2. La, 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 la,
And
like
also like,
fighting.
I can run faster with my buckets than you can do. I
Yeah.
can do more mud than you can do.
Yeah, and they're like bumping into Trinket, and she yells at them
Mm-hmm.
like they're children. Relax.
Yeah, and then she bumps into Krim as well, and then she yells at Krim like, "Why are you in my way?" But Krim
Yeah.
was just working on the new tunnel.
And she was like, keep your kids in line. Like, you were the one that bumped into Krim.
Mm-hmm.
The kids were just running around helping. They were doing a lot more than you were. But luckily, Ember is there to like smooth everything over.
Oh yeah, but did you realize like Trinket says to the children like clumsy little elves, you should be working instead of getting in the way. And I'm
Yeah.
like, who's working here? You're running around with a bucket with this little mud inside.
And you're like,
And
you're
they-
strolling around the tunnels with one bucket.
Yeah, and they are racing with hundreds of buckets.
You're this big, strong troll. You should be able to
Exactly.
carry like 5 of these buckets easily.
And the kids should be working.
Yeah, of course.
Mhm.
But she tells Mender that, you're right, to make everything better. I'm
Mhm.
sure that you put those kids in their place.
Yeah.
Because you're so perfect. You can see Crim being like,
That was the best. That was the best thing. Just her whole face, like,
yeah.
I can't do this.
Yeah, you can see it in Mender's face as well. He's like,
Yeah, but he can't do it in Trinket's face because
Yeah.
then Trinket won't listen to him anymore.
Yeah, and as they keep walking, strolling along, talking, and she's like, Mender, Mender. The kids are like, come on, catch this one, Pearl.
I'm not ready yet.
And a bucket of dirt and mud falls straight onto Trinket's head.
Yeah. And look at Mender. He's trying to keep his laughter inside.
Yes!
It's like so bad. And I don't understand. Trinket loves Mender, but
Yeah.
then she's like, you put them up to this.
She screams him like, you put them up to this. You did this.
And none of them, neither Crim, neither Mender, or the cubs can hold in their laughter. They're like running
Yeah.
from her
they're
trying.
like, no, wait, giggle, hold on. When she's just cursing.
Yeah.
But in the next panel, we can see that they get through to the tunnel that they've been digging towards.
Yeah, and the thing was, like, they were afraid to dig into this tunnel because of the tides, that their own tunnels would be flooded.
Yeah.
And I was like, this vacuum thingy cannot suck up the tide.
But they also said that the water is just a little bit lower than high tide. So they have dug this tunnel really high up the wall so that when high tide comes in, it shouldn't flood the tunnel.
And you said it wrong. They didn't say a little bit lower. They said it's some down from full.
Yeah, it's some down from full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that makes sense, right?
Yeah. So the way they say it, high tide wouldn't mean that it would flood that tunnel because the tunnel is so high up the wall that they should
but
still
they
be
still
fine.
use this machine to suck up the water.
But that was also
But
so
then-
that the elves would be able to walk through the water later without
But
having to swim in it.
if the water in there is forced by the tide,
Yeah.
they can still not suck up the tide.
No, but if
So
say
I
that
feel the machine doesn't make sense.
no, but say that it is now full tide.
You can't suck up the water either way. Like,
yeah, but they
should
can
have-
lower the water level.
not when it's like it would keep on coming more water inside.
No, if it's full, but like if it's low tide. If it's low tide, most likely the water that is in there is right now kind of stagnant.
Yeah, if it's like that, it might work. But I was like, there must be another way that the water come inside too, because
Yeah.
like the whole thing just didn't make sense for me.
the
Like, you
water
can't suck
level
out the tide.
is exactly that level that if they pump it now, it won't refill because it's
Maybe.
just below that trash point.
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah, that may be the logic behind it because
Mhm.
their thoughts are we need to lower the water level so that the elves can walk through the water and not have
Yeah.
to swim in the water.
True, and they need their feet on the ground so they can fight the monster.
Yes, so they
Since
need to
they're
be
not
able
like-
to walk.
Mermaid fighters.
But this machine looks like it's taken straight out of Two Edges handbook.
Oh yeah, like it's only Two Edge who can make these machines, but they don't really
Flam
mention it.
says that it's his machine.
Yeah, he says like I've been working on a little bit something when you've been taking care of being a ruler of your kingdom.
Yeah, so but maybe he has gotten some of Two Edges like scrolls or like
Like the drawings.
that he's made
But would
when they broke into the
of course,
citadel,
like
they
Tuish must have made drawings for the humans to build the machines.
yeah, but also when he broke into the citadel, he also talked a lot about like that he knew how the gears worked and he'd worked with gears and stuff like that. So he's obviously the same kind of type as Two Edge.
Yeah.
But there is only one Two Edge, and Two Edge has probably some kind of magic from Winnowill, whereas his magic it goes towards the creativity and creation of engines and.
But this one doesn't seem like it has an engine, since you have the two weird-looking trolls on top of it.
Yeah, it looks
they're
like it's
cranking
coal.
it.
Or
Yeah.
it's coal driven.
Oh,
so they have
probably.
to, yeah, because there's a lot of steam coming out of it.
Yeah.
So I think it's coal driven, but it's still a sort of an engine in it to have it to work and pump.
So it might be like he is inspired by Two Edge, but it's not a perfect Two Edge machine.
Yeah. Like Two Edge machine would be perfectly accurate and work better, but this is like.
And it feels like he was a little surprised that it works.
Yeah.
Because he was like, oh, you see, like, no, it's sucking in and it going into this thingy and then it will suck it out and put it over there, you know?
Yeah. And
it's
someone
like,
will stay
oh,
in it to keep it working.
Yeah. I was like, I hope it will work.
Yeah.
And I loved the comment that Dushine had.
Yeah.
That she's saying, like, yes, Flam's created, it's made out of metal and hide.
Yeah.
And it's like, he is so in love with the machine that Dushine is like,
this is my baby.
No, not baby. Your life mate.
Yeah. But like for us, it would be like, this is my baby, but it's his life mate.
Yeah.
He made his own life mate.
I was like, I never looked at you like this, Dushine, but this is a good comment.
Very, very good comment. In the next panels, we see Pike is taken into a courtroom with a very weird statue.
Yeah, I kind of like this statue, you know?
It's so wonderfully weird.
Yeah, it's like Winnowill on top with her arms halfway reached upwards.
Yeah.
And her hair is flowing. And then on the bottom.
Her hair is enormous.
Yeah, and then on the bottom of her feet, the monster is there.
Yeah, the Redeemer.
Yeah.
And it's all made out of wood. So somebody used a lot of time to sculpt this.
And a thing I didn't mention, Winnowill is naked. Like, you can see
she's
her
fully naked.
You can see everything. You can see straight home right there.
Yeah.
And they are like praising it. Like you're praising a Buddha or a cross.
Yeah.
Like this is a religious feature in their courtroom kind of thing.
Yeah, like this is who we're praying to. Like she's in Treshk. I don't understand how they have.
It feels like she or this statue is higher than Treshk.
Yeah, because I don't understand understand how they would like have a statue of Winnowill and the Redeemer and not one of Treshk's. Is it because they don't know what Treshk looks like and they can't make a statue of him?
Like with the Christianity, we have the cross. Yeah, like we like look at the cross and pray with the cross.
Yeah,
like,
but Gutra and Treshk have never had like any symbols or they've just been like this thing that they worship. There's never been like a physical thing that they go to or worship. But then
why do they choose to have a statue of Winnowill and the Redeemer?
Because she made the monster that came there to protect them against the wolf-blooded ones of 200 years ago.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Totally to protect you guys and not to scare you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because that's what Winnowill does.
Did they say why the punishment was to be in these cages up in the air before they went to the Redeemer?
Probably to please the masses. Maybe. Let the masses throw some overripe fruits.
And rocks, looks like.
No, tomatoes.
Yeah, but they look a little hard, some of them, when they're throwing.
Yeah, they may not all be like overripe.
Mm-hmm.
You would usually throw like rotten stuff.
This one looks like it has an onion.
Yeah. No, it's probably like for the masses, for the people to like.
But they didn't
take out their anger. No, they never said. They just took them out there when we were done with everything.
Since like they were in the cage, or like in the courtroom, then
Yeah.
in the cage, and then
Then they were
marching
taking
up to the Redeemer.
Yeah.
Like
The
I don't
whole
feel
time
they
Pike
said
is like
why.
sending to Ember, being like, "Oh, they're throwing stuff at me. They're gonna
Yeah.
take me to the Redeemer
You
soon.
have to hurry, like to get the tunnel finished.
Yeah. Like, hurry up. This is you guys are taking too long, basically.
Mm-hmm. I like how this troll, is it Drub? Yeah, Drub. How she's ruling.
Yeah.
She's actually willing to help Ember,
Yeah.
and she is giving her a good sword
Yeah.
that she know, like, this won't break, basically, since her
Yeah.
old knife broke. And Ember is a little bit like, but why are you helping me?
Yeah.
And she's more like, but I think it's a good thing for me to be in debt to you, because now you help to help me later, and we have learned we need each other's help.
Yeah, she even says, our dear patriarch Pignos always said it's good to keep a Wolfrider chief in your debt.
I don't think he said it like that.
No, I don't think so either, but it's a good like interpretation of what he said,
Yeah.
because that's what he meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we think he meant it like that? Like Pignos did a lot of bad things.
Pignos knew that keeping a Wolfrider in your debt meant that you could get something out of them if you needed them.
That's true. But that was more in I don't want to help you kind of thing, but I know I need you. So he did it for his own best. Like,
yeah. So
Drub
sometimes
is not
I will
doing
give
this.
you something for my best, because I will know that I will need your help later.
Yeah, I don't think Pignos would have given Ember her
A sword, no,
No.
and fought with her and done all these things with all his trolls. No.
Like,
Cutter would have had to threaten him real bad to like be like, I'll cut your fucking nose off if you don't help
maybe
me.
he wouldn't have done it either way.
And like he would have had to threaten him quite harshly to get him to even think about helping, to lift his fat ass off that throne.
And you know, when they are crawling through the hole and Drub is on the other side and like peeking through the hole and being like, see on the other side.
Yeah.
I was like, now they're fooled. Like, this is another troll is fooling you kind of thing. They're not going to show up, like, kind of thing. And
trolls being trolls.
Just the look in Drub's face, I was like, they're not going to be there.
No.
Like, yes, she's helping her, giving her a sword, but that's it.
Yeah, I've done my part. No, you do your part.
So I was so surprised.
But Drub is luckily a better person than Pignos.
Yeah, and I thought about it later when they actually showed up, that she has fought with them before.
Yeah, she has.
Like, she went voluntarily with the Wolfriders to fight in the war.
And not with these exact Wolfriders.
No, but
like
they were elves.
With Cutter and the others, and like fought a war, and she was really into it. She loved it.
Yeah, Pignos just hated elves. Period.
Cutter.
Like,
he was
but it's like,
terrified of Cutter. That was his problem.
It was just like, I don't want to help any elves.
Yeah, but I think it all came from him being really scared of Cutter, and like, if I don't do as this little elf says, he will kill me, and I hate that I have to answer to a child because I am a big, strong man.
Yeah.
And it was part of like a dignity thing.
Yeah.
More than anything else, basically.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. But they start walking down this cave and they're like, have water up to their waist. And Dushine says, Ember, wait, there's something there.
It looks kind of creepy in the shadows, though.
Yeah. She's like, it's a wasteful beast. There's your sign. We can't be there.
So you wanted to be fair with a Vinny-Wheel monster before?
Before you found out that it didn't eat the arm, we were going to be fair. But once we saw that it left scraps, we're not fair anymore.
Because that makes sense, right?
Yeah. Like, of course, Wolfriders are... They don't waste food.
No,
they don't waste anything.
They don't eat the bones.
The wolves gnaw on bones.
Yeah. We haven't really
They
seen
probably
them
use the
cooking.
bones for something.
Probably. We don't have an elf quest cooking book.
No, they probably even if it's not for cooking, they probably use it for something else.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they make like stuff of it.
Yeah, but it's a monster though.
It is.
But at the same time as the elves now are walking through the cave, the humans with Pike and the hag has come to the edge of the water for the Redeemer.
And I like their thinking. It's like the hag don't want to go into the water.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, so we're just going to drown you instead. Since
she's part of the demon and she's in league with him. So of course she don't want to go in the water. Go in the water.
Yeah, but there's like her hands and feet are bound. And
her eyes are bound.
Yeah, and you're just throwing her into the water.
Of course she's
gonna drown before the monster come out of its cave.
Yeah, luckily it's not that deep. So her head is easily over water.
Yeah, but it was not a good idea.
Yeah, and they waited, and day turned to night, and they said that we've never waited this long.
No,
maybe the Redeemer don't want her.
Maybe the Redeemer want a demon that it's on its side.
Yeah,
and I was like, but if the Redeemer and Pike is on the same side, why would the Redeemer want to eat Pike?
Yeah, if they were on the same team, they wouldn't. And like their logic here is if the Redeemer don't eat you, usually, if the Redeemer don't eat you, you haven't lost your soul.
Yeah, but I don't think that happened ever. Like we talked about last time, the witch hunt. Like, you're dead either way.
Yeah, because their whole logic here was you haven't looked a demon in the eyes, the Redeemer won't eat you.
Yeah, but the Redeemer would come and eat you anyway.
Yeah, and now that the Redeemer don't come, it's not like, oh, she's innocent, she was right, she never did anything wrong. It's like, oh no, the Redeemer just wants the demon.
No, but the Redeemer doesn't have a way to get out since they pumped out all the water.
Yeah, it can't really swim out. It has to like run out.
Mm-hmm. And then the Wolfriders is attacking its tail.
Yeah. And the Redeemer does not want that. And it screams and runs out of the cave as fast as it possibly could.
And it starts attacking the humans.
Yes.
And the humans are shocked. Like, why is it attacking us? It's like, we haven't looked the demon in the eyes.
Help us, lady! Like they're yelling for Wienerwill to help them.
She's long gone.
And Wienerwill would never help a human.
And the trolls come to, I don't know, like the main thing was the trolls to come to like kill the monster, right?
Yeah. They were coming from the front while the elves were coming from the back so that they could get it from both sides.
But they also had to fight the humans in a way too. Like,
yeah.
Humans never seen a troll.
No, they haven't. And humans are so scared. They're like, what the fuck are these things?
And one of the trolls is like looking at the humans as so shocked. And it's like, what's the matter, soft skin? Never seen a real fighter before? And he's like, bruh. and the human faints.
Yeah, like it doesn't. It's not that it hasn't seen a real fighter. You just said you're an ugly green troll.
And when he does this, like, bruh, I wonder, like, is his breath so bad when he's like breathing on the humans? It's like this.
Or is the human just so scared that he's gonna fucking kill him and like beat him in the head with the pickaxe that he's like, I can take this.
Yeah, could be both.
Yeah. And then right after this, we get the best picture in the whole book.
Gotta love it. It looks like just some eyes, a nose, couple hair strands, and a mouth smashed on a big squishmallow. That's it. No chin, no neck, no ears, no finish of the face.
Is in the white of the void.
Yeah.
Is the strangest picture ever.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Pool. I'd like to look at the picture beside it better, like to see his shock or like realization that you have to attack the gill thingies on the tail.
Yeah, or keep the tail and the gills out of the water. Because if you look at the whole body of the monster, it has gills all over his body.
Yeah.
But even none of the gills are still in the water. It can't breathe.
Yeah. Just like strangle it, and they all decide to cut off the tail.
Yeah. The elf sends to each other to, we need to hack off the tail. And Mender yells to the trolls, like, help us, we need to hack off the tail.
Yeah, because it's so fat and it probably a lot of bone. They need like muscles to do that.
Yeah, and it would take a really, really long time for the elves to do it alone.
And with like swords and spears, it's hard to detach the tail from the body.
The trolls have axes and pickaxes. Yeah. That's a lot better tool to do that.
Exactly.
And in the end, the Redeemer dies.
And they walk up to the shore and be like, it's dead. And they're like, you speak our tongue? It's like, of course they do. They are smart.
Yeah. That thing was a foul magic you should have feared. We knew the maker. Did you know she was an elf like us?
Like we discussed before, it's like, she didn't look like an elf.
No, but she was human.
She made you believe.
Could change her form.
She made you believe. She brainwashed you. Yeah. Stupid.
Yeah. And Ember just kills them. She's gone. We killed her. It's just the last remnants of her magic that is left out here, and we're just trying to take it down.
Yeah, and I like it when they're like, the humans are like, how do we know we can trust you? Blah, blah, blah. And Ember looks them straight in the eyes and be like, he's right. We don't eat souls, but you think we do. And without the Redeemer, what will you do now? Since all of you looked us in the eyes.
And you can see the fear in their faces like,
they didn't realize.
We looked them in the eyes.
We're all tuned. Like, no.
We've looked a lot of them in the eyes. So what the fuck do we do now?
And I loved it.
Oh, yeah. And you have the really sweet lead who just bends down to this little child and like, little one, you feeling different? No? Then is it up to you to show them they are wrong?
Because we all know that kids are innocent and they can change their parents' mind.
Yeah. And then we have this big man that is like, I'm just who are you? Just know you're not human. To Flam, and she's like, don't matter what we are. You should not care what we are. You should not be anywhere near us. And until you have more fat on your ass, you are not much of a man for me.
Just look at this man's face. He's like, I don't want to be a man.
No. Please get me out of here.
And when he's walking away, she's like, you need more fat on your ass. It's just like pinching it.
His
Love it.
This is not a very skinny man. He's a big man.
He's a buff man.
Yeah, he's a big buff man.
But he's small compared to all the
trolls. Yeah, and their standards. Yeah. And then suddenly, as all the elves stand together with the trolls, they can hear the howling coming from above.
And I started to realize, like, don't these humans know what wolves are? Like, since they're like, oh no, this is the demons howling. Like, there's more of their friends.
Demons! It's their beasts.
And like, but they're wolves.
Yeah.
Like,
it's simply a wolf.
They're riding on wolves, but don't they have just normal wolves running around in their forest?
Yeah, or like know about wild dogs?
Are they that afraid of wolves that they are like always thinking they're demons nearby? I don't know.
It's so strange. But in that exact moment, Ember realizes, Tate is here.
And that's why we're seeing random pages spread through the last 100 pages or whatever of Tate, because he was finding his way back.
And as they walk back to the Howling Rock, Mender is trying to talk to Ember. It's like, who is he? I never heard of him. Yeah, you told me there was someone, but you never told me someone had a name. That someone had a name. His name was Tate. You never told me. Why didn't you tell me?
He is so jealous.
So jealous. And he's like fighting with Ember on the road, and everyone else is just like following along, hobbling after them. Ember and Mender is going at each other in the front of the pack, and everyone else is just, let them just be. This is their business. Let's not include ourselves in this.
But I'm still a little like, why did Ember choose Mender as her life mate when
Love mate.
Oh, did you say love mate?
Love mate.
Okay, but anyway, why did she choose Mender when she knew Ted was out there? Like, I kind of understand a little now with the.
It's been 20 years.
But still,
and he was very available.
But still, she don't have any feelings for her, for
But
Mender.
she could fuck him. And he was available.
But every time, like, I feel when she looks at him and stuff, she's like, I don't care about you kind of thing, eh?
Yeah. Kind of wishing that he would be Tate, but like she probably is like, well, I don't know if Tate is ever gonna come back. I don't know if he's ever gonna show up. Maybe Mender will be enough.
True. Do you think like that Mender got that jealous because of the way Ember looked at him when he got back?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or was it because the way Mender came and demanded his space in the tribe?
Tate came and demanded?
Yeah, when Tate did it.
I think it's a mix of like him demanding his spot in the tribe and Ember, the way that they looked at each other and how Ember ran up to him and everyone knew him and everyone knew his name. And he felt like a total outsider, and he kind of understood that there's something here that I haven't gotten, that no one told me.
But at the same time, do you think Mender told Ember everything that happened in the war?
There wasn't much that was important to tell, though.
Yeah, but still, like, I don't know, like.
I feel like telling your ex that you hooked up with someone else and that you really love them is kind of more important than I killed 50 humans.
That's true, but like, it's also this thing. But I'm with you now. Like,
yeah,
I could have chosen this other one. We know that she will choose Ted because but
do you know?
No, but I don't get it. I don't really understand jealousy that way.
No.
My brain just can't wrap itself around it. It's more like you can be unsure about someone, but then when this kind of jealousy comes up, I'm a little bit like, but I'm with you right now, right? Like, why do you think I would be with you if I didn't want to be with you?
Yeah, if I wanted to choose someone else, why didn't I?
I could have just easily gone with someone else.
Yeah. Too late comes over to Tate with meat and like, here, take it. You're part of the tribe now. That means that we share everything.
Yeah, it's so sweet. And it doesn't seem like Mender is the only one
that's jealous.
No, because you have Scatter in the back being like, don't flirt with someone else, Too late.
Yeah, and Tate obviously sees it and is like, thank you, but I can do with what I have.
Yeah, but it wasn't that they had to need to feed him. It's like they wanted him to feel a part of the group.
Yeah, but you can also see him like reaching his hand out to take it, and then he sees Scouter and he's like, no, I don't need it. So he really wanted to say yes, but like Scouter, he kind of put him off.
He's like kind of on the fence, like with the tribe.
Yeah.
He has 1 foot in and 1 foot out, and it's going to be so easy to actually push him out of the tribe again.
Yeah. The next day, they decide to hunt some shagbacks.
Yeah, and they kind of looks like the blacknecks. I don't know.
Or the bison.
Yeah, animals.
Yeah. And everyone goes in to hunt. And they have taken down 3 animals, and suddenly Tate comes in with his wolves.
And he takes up 4 alone, or alone with his wolf packs, on the time that all the Wolfriders had taken out their 3.
Yeah, they're like, how the fuck? Because like, he's fast.
No, he has enhanced his magic powers.
Yeah.
He's practicing talking to his wolves.
He has, and he's made a really strong connection to them, and it's very obvious that he has.
But what one thing I didn't understand is like he's really annoyed by Ember. Like she hasn't apologized for what she said and did last time.
Mm-hmm.
And when Krim and Pike ask him about something and he's annoyed by them asking, he's shooting an arrow between them. Like, of course, the arrow would never hit them.
Yeah.
But like he's taking out his anger and annoyance on someone else.
Yeah.
Like,
and like they kind of asked a disrespectful question in like because he would never hurt the trusting ones.
yeah, but still.
But like Krim didn't
felt-
understand that was disrespectful to him. She was just curious on how
yeah,
its
it felt,
powers
felt
worked.
like an honest question.
Yeah, and I'm sure it was. From her side, it was an honest question. She has seen Rayek hunt. Rayek does something similar, and he doesn't call them trusting ones and doesn't care whether he kills an animal or not.
Absolutely. So it's hard for her to know. And Tate knows. He hasn't told everyone about the trusting one things. He basically only said that to Ember, and Ember has kind of
shared his views on things.
But then Krim wasn't there.
No. She was fighting a war.
Yeah.
But a little bit later, we can see him coming up to Ember, and he's calling her chiefess. Ember.
Yeah, not fire here.
Fire here.
Yeah, and it's odd.
And she even says it. Fire here, not Ember, not fire here. You've changed. I don't see my fire here anymore. Just a wolf chief.
And that's what she had to become. And yeah, but he is still mad at her for what happened.
But also he has changed a lot as well.
Yeah.
She's not the only one that changed.
No.
During these 20 years, he's changed. He's a lot colder and harder to approach than he was. Even though he has a lot of tenderness towards Ember.
Yeah. And when she's telling how she's changed from when the palace arrived.
Yeah, like everything that happened.
When the cubs were born. And on this image, like you mentioned when we were reading, all of them, like in the trouble, is naked.
Yeah.
And everyone around is sharing on this birth of Pool. And they are all fully clothed.
I understand that Tillit is needing to be naked, at least on her underbody.
Yeah.
Her overbody doesn't need to be naked. It can be covered.
But Scott doesn't need to be.
Scouter and
Scouter.
And Dushine does not have to be naked.
No.
They could be fully clothed.
And why is everyone sitting around like cheering like it's like a football match?
Like I get it that they're excited for the first birth of a baby in a long time, but it's kind of weird at the same time.
Yeah, like the birth is like such an intimate moment.
Yeah. And then she tells Tate about how Choplicker was getting old and he kind of like said goodbye to her, like going over and licking her in the face before leaving and finding his final resting spot.
But she was asleep though when he did that.
Yeah,
so
but
she
it was
didn't
really
notice.
beautiful.
Yeah. Animals are pure like that. I love that about animals.
Yeah. And she's like, he even found me a new wolf friend that was waiting for me with him when I found him.
It was so sad though. Like she's crying and this little wolf cub is like, don't cry.
And licking her tears.
Yes. And there's like, I knew this was my new wolf friend.
Yeah. And Tate is just laughing like, I know.
And I'm just like shocked how Ember didn't realize it was him sooner.
Yeah. Like, how did you know? Well, I was there. I told you I would be around.
Yeah, I was the one who put the cup there.
Yeah. I placed him there and told him to wait for you.
And I was like, of course it was Tate.
Yeah, the cub was sitting...
Choplicker was a male, so it wasn't like he just gave birth to...
No, and the cub was like sitting perfectly in his paws.
Yeah. And she meets the mother of her wolf and is like, oh, now I realize it was you because this wolf looks like just like mine.
Yeah. And then Dormender comes in like, sorry, Chief says, but you wanted at the Holt.
And they're just looks at him and walks away.
Yeah. And I find what he says afterwards kind of weird. Like, your den's been waiting for you, love mate. So have I. And I'm not nearly as patient as the pile of rocks.
And I did not like that because that just feels like the ownership of a woman thingy that is in a lot of cultures today. And it's like she is her own human being. She's the chiefess. She decides over you. You're not deciding over her.
Yeah.
And if she don't want to be in the den with you and dancing and all that,
Yeah.
you're not getting any.
No. And she even says it. What does your patience have to do with anything? You had no right to do that.
Sid was finally talking.
Yeah, you know how touchy things are. You saw he was finally talking and you just ruined it.
And Ted tries to go back to his old den at Howling Rock, but there's someone else who's occupied that one.
Yeah, Yoon has moved in to his den.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, you lived there for that long? And you left? You just left? Well, he didn't really leave. He was kind of thrown out.
Yeah. And she was like, oh, you lived there for 8 8s? I only lived there for 8 4s. So, well, I guess it's yours then because you had it longer.
Yeah, I will move out. Just let me stay here tonight. But it's space for you as well, so we can share the bed for tonight. And he's like, no.
No, thank you.
I'm not sharing your bed. I'm only sharing Ember's bed.
And basically don't say that, but he's like putting his chin up, looking her straight in the eyes and being like, no, not yet. Not tonight anyway. And like, I think it's more like he don't care to share with anyone else. Like that would be fine.
Mm-hmm.
But right now he feel like he needs to be alone.
Yeah, and also I feel like he also feel that it would be wrong towards Ember to share someone else's den.
Yeah.
When they've just like reconnected, kind of.
But someone else is watching them and
he's watching them.
He is taking this as something way different than he was.
Yeah. And that
It's
could
like,
simplify everything. Like, I'm gonna get those two to be together.
Now they can be love mates, so I can have Ember by myself.
Yeah.
And one thing though, when did the elves become monogamous? Like
never.
Exactly. So
even if they are in monogamous relationships, they're not monogamous.
No, so like where does this jealousy kind of come from? They could all share Ember. Like,
yeah.
Like this is not elf like. He is.
But he's also grown up in the Sun Village, and they're not as monogamous as,
or like open.
Yeah, as the Wolfriders.
Yeah,
they're more set in their ways in couples and families.
That could be though.
Yeah,
but still, he chose to be with a wild Wolfrider.
Yes. And on the next pages, we see someone that we know.
I thought the June was dead. Didn't Shona kill him?
She stabbed him, yeah, but he did not die.
Oh, okay. So I thought that was like a
barely escaped alive.
Okay, I thought that was like a death stab.
Yeah, it was meant to be a death stab.
It wasn't.
And it even shows that he has been able to father several children.
Yeah, but he's getting weaker.
Yes. So he gets one of his guards to call for his son.
I'm so surprised he like managed to escape. He still have people who's trusting him. Like he has people working for him, like guards.
But he also says that like I only have like 50 guards. That's not enough. It's so shameful.
Yeah, but still, like I feel when you're losing a battle, you're on the bottom. Yeah. No one wants to follow you anymore or work for you anymore.
No. But like he has someone left.
He has like, it looks like a huge farm though. Like he has the big farmhouse, then some other houses on the side.
Yeah, but the farmhouse isn't good enough for him. He makes that quite clear.
Though. But like he has like a big mansion farm thingy.
But he tells his son that he is to go out there and he's going to make himself worthy of becoming the next June.
Yeah, and basically occupy more land or new land
Yeah, find something for me. Prove
Because-
your worth.
because he did that himself when he was his age. So
Yeah.
that makes sense, right?
And as he's leaving, his sister says that what he would need to take back is basically Cutter's head on a pike.
The elf chief's head. I
Yeah.
thought about Ember first. Like, it's been so long since we've seen Cutter and the other ones.
Yeah,
So I was
but he
like,
doesn't know who Ember is.
But now Ember is the chief. So
Yeah.
I was like, the chief, yeah, Ember. But no,
But
yeah, it makes sense
it
now.
will be Cutter.
Makes sense when you said Cutter because he's only seen Cutter.
Yeah, Cutter is who they see as the Elf King.
Absolutely. I like though that Tate is teaching the little. I don't know. Was it Pool?
Pool, yes. Sus is the other one.
Yeah, he's teaching Pool to shoot with an arrow.
Yeah, and Sus is like, I'm so good at hitting with my spear. I love throwing things. I'm a lot better than Pool, and I'm sure that I can go hunting before he can.
Mm-hmm.
And then Pike is like, but he's a lot better than you with a bow and arrow. You can stand a chance towards him. But that's not fair, because he's training with Tate. So that's not fair.
Yeah. Such kids talking. But it's like, but you're you're training with me to throw a spear, and that, like, Pool is not doing that.
And as Tate and Pool is training, we have this really awkward bump into Mender.
Yeah, since the wolf is running away with one of the arrows, they're chasing the wolf.
And they just run straight into Mender.
Mm-hmm. And they actually talking, but I don't know, like...
Well, you can see on their faces that they're like... the mood isn't good. It's very uncomfortable, I would say.
But Mender is a little, like, mean in his talking. He's like... Someone can see what's in front of their noses, and I feel he's hinting like Ember is mine, and you don't realize that.
Well, and Mender hasn't realized that he has lost that bottle a long time ago.
But he's like, should I take this as a warning?
Yeah. And Tate decides he's done with the training for today and just walks off. And that's when he bumps into June, and she's like, come on, go hunting with us.
Oh, yeah, and before that, though, Mender and Pool is, like, standing back, and I like Pool is just like, Mender, why don't you like Tate? Everyone else does.
I wonder why he doesn't like Tate. It can't have anything to do with Ember.
He's so innocent, though. Little cubby.
Yeah, little cub. So cute.
And he doesn't really run into Yoon. She's throwing a rock at his head.
Yeah, he's like, you could have just sent. No, you were like daydreaming so hard that you wouldn't have heard it anyway.
Yeah, you wouldn't have noticed.
Yeah. Come on, go hunt with us. Me and Scudder are going. 3 bows a little bit better than 2. And in the next scene we can see Angriff, the June's son, on horseback on his way to try to find Cutter.
And he hasn't really found anything by now.
No, and he goes off his horse to get some water, and then a snake shows up and scares the horse.
Yeah, and the horse runs down this like stony hill.
Yeah.
And he falls and is badly injured. So there's only one thing to do.
Yeah, so he ends the horse, takes his supplies on his back, and is like, oh my god, I have to walk. I'm gonna find nothing.
Yeah, and it's like, I had to walk all the way back home all by myself. Poor me.
Yeah. And we're back with the hunting party. They're just talking among each other, being really kind.
I like that Jun is like, oh, you're wolves? They have to follow you everywhere? Like, they don't leave you anywhere?
No, they just always follow you around. Well, can you control our wolves like you do your wolves? That'd be really cool.
Yeah, he hasn't tried. He probably could.
Yeah, so he tries. He goes out. They find these llama deer things.
Yeah, I think they said the name of them earlier, but I don't remember.
Me neither. It's like a llama deer thing. And Tear starts to command the animals. And it goes really well. They takes down several animals.
They call them cup horns.
Cup horns.
It's
That's
an
what.
8 of cup horns.
Yeah. So they take down several of the animals, and it goes really well. But there's one thing that they don't notice.
The human boy.
Ungriff is watching.
Mm-hmm.
And he thinks to himself, now this is something to take home to father.
Even more than he knows.
Yeah. So for the next episode, we're going to talk about Wild Hunt number 8 through 11.
So until next time, go recognize a troll.